Hey guys, and welcome to June. This is the pickups for May 2015. It's been a very slow last month, I guess. A couple different things. Got some games some different way than I normally would, and kind of by chance. But to just kind of jump into it, it's been slow to the point where I only got two. So first up, shoutouts to my little sister in Florida. She actually stopped off at a retro shop that she found, just happened to be driving by, and she called me up. She said, "Hey, I'm at a retro store. Are you looking for any games?" And I said, "Yeah, here's a list of the Dreamcast games I'm missing." And she said, "Okay." Well, she looked and looked and looked, and she unfortunately only found one out of the 15 at the time that I actually gave her. And this was a couple months back. So she actually just finally got it sent to me. It took a while, but thank you. I do appreciate it, little sis. Um, and that game is Bang Gunship Elite. I don't know if she actually paid this price or not. She didn't tell me. So I do owe her for that. The second game, on the last for May, I actually went to Anime Central, or ASIN, in Chicago this year again. And they usually have about one or two little booths that sell like retro games and such. This year they only had one, and it's one that he's a booth that's usually always there, but the prices are kind of eh. Their imports are very expensive. There was some Xbox 360 shmups that I was kind of interested in, but I was going to pay $80 for them when like Play Asia had them for $60 and I can get free shipping. So that kind of sucked. But aside from all the massive import games they had for like all the handhelds, PSP, Vita, DS, 3DS, some Saturn imports, GameCube, all that stuff, they did have a few American games. They had a handful of Dreamcast games, which I was kind of surprised to see. But the strange thing was, the one that I saw that I was missing, it looked pristine. And it was kind of hidden behind this plastic curtain, kind of buried underneath some other games. And I recognized it from the art. And when the guy handed it to me after I'd said I wanted it, it's like the wrapping was falling off. It was supposedly still sealed, but the wrapping was falling off. The case was cracked. It looked like it had been dropped on the floor several times. The edges were jagged and it chipped away, and the plastic was just in horrible shape. The art was kind of more faded than what it looked behind the plastic. There was junk all over the spine. It was nasty looking. And I told the guy, I said, "I'm not going to pay full price for this supposed sealed game when it's in this condition." And I said, "Is there another copy you have, or would you come down on the price on it?" He's like, "Well, I actually happen to have a second copy." And he pulls it out, buried underneath a bunch of other games in the corner of this table. It was the same thing, and I'll just show you. But it was Plasma Sword, and you can see right there it says new factory sealed, which it is sealed. It's got the Y-fold. And I paid close to a premium for it, of course, because you're at a convention, you'd be paying a little bit more. But I didn't have shipping to really deal with. And it was probably the only time I was going to see a sealed copy. So I jumped on it. But this one's in much better condition. There's, obviously the plastic isn't torn off of it. The case is in good shape. There's no cracking, no roughage. Didn't look like it had been dropped. No cracking on the case, really. So that was cool. But sadly, those are the only two pickups really that I needed on my collection. I'm down to 10 now. It's getting really hard. Like some of the weird common ones, like South Park Rally, MagForce Racer, Chronicles of Pern. I haven't found any of those three really around here. I found a couple like loose copies, like CD only, but I kind of want the cases. But with the sealed ones, they're going to be opened up, and my goal is, and I think I've probably said this before, but by September 9th, 2015 this year, if I finish the collection, I'm gonna play through all the games. I'm gonna do a Twitch stream, and I'll open up all those sealed games to kind of freak out the big collectors out there that, oh god, he's opening sealed games and losing value. I don't care. I want to play the games. That's what I'm here for. So that'll happen. I've got a handful of those. So, but in another deal, Matt and I went to a pawn shop. This is one that him and I kind of frequent from time to time, but they've always had this small case of Dreamcast games, and I've picked through them before, and I pulled out a couple from it, but the rest of them were sports games that I already had. And they were asking, I think originally it was like somewhere in the ballpark of $35 for like this CD case full of Dreamcast games. And there was even two games that were burned copies, and the guy's all like trying to entice me with them, and he's like, "Ooh, it was like Mortal Kombat Gold and Tekken," and I'm like, Tekken's not even a Dreamcast game. but it was burned. More than likely, somebody copied it, pirated it, and was trying to get it to work on a Dreamcast. I don't know. Those got probably thrown out. After some haggling with the pawn store owner there and everything, and he finally came down to a reasonable price. I paid about $20 for all this stack of games. They're all sports games. A couple of them I kind of got some uncommon sports games that were hard to find. And I am trying to work out a trade these, so right now these aren't really out for trade or anything. But I'll kind of go through them just for the fun of it. Most of them are complete except for two. But we've got a retail version of NBA 2K. One of the uncommon ones, NBA 2 Night. I've been trying to get rid of the stickers. Another uncommon, Dave Mirra Freestyle BMX. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, and I guess this is starting to become kind of uncommon. Common one, Sega Bass Fishing. Uncommon, Real Fishing Wild. Rippin' Riders. Looks like the retail version of NFL 2K2. Tennis 2K2, which is another uncommon one. This one actually took me a while to find. A NHL 2K, and it's missing the manual. And the other one missing the manual is World Series Baseball 2K1, which is also kind of an uncommon sports game. But I mean, for $20, I took it. He included the CD case, which I really didn't need, but good stack. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So $20 for 11 games. I'm not going to complain too much. So, but unfortunately, that's it. Hopefully June will shape up. Hopefully maybe get a no 2, 3. I don't know. If some of these trade deals come through, that'd be great. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do for these other harder ones. Cannon Spike's still hovering around $120 on eBay right now. I don't know if I'm going to find that in the wild for any cheaper. Gigawing 2 somewhere between 80 and 100. Gunbird 2 I've been seeing between 60 and 80. It's kind of crazy now. I'm getting down to the really expensive, really sought after, hard to find ones. Which I kind of figured when I started this all several years ago, those would be the hardest ones to find. I've seen one copy of Gigawing 2 that slipped through me, got away, and I was too late to the game to get it. The rest of them I have not seen. I have not seen at all. So it's kind of, yeah, it makes me cry. Anyway, so that's it for this month. Thanks guys for watching, and hopefully something will happen here soon. So stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.